So this year's EA Play promised to provide Battlefield fans an exciting announcement regarding the largely elusive, redacted game experience that they've been teasing us a lot with lately. The mantra behind this experience was that it was meant to be a love letter to the long-standing Battlefield community. And well, I think it's safe to say with the now confirmed Battlefield Portal experience that's coming to 2042, they're right on track to deliver with those teasers. G'day there once again viewers, this is your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today guys, we're going to be talking about Battlefield Portal and what it means for the Battlefield franchise. Okay, so, Battlefield Portal. I'll admit, guys, I really didn't expect this experience to take on the scope and scale that it's going to be. We already knew the developers over at Ripple Effect, formerly DICE LA, were working on bringing back fan-favorite maps to the 2042 experience. They kind of hinted at that, so remastered content was already on the cards. People knew this. But to see content coming back from not one, but three of the franchise's most beloved games is a real game changer. For the uninitiated out there, let's go through a quick rundown as to what Battlefield Portal actually is. This is a sandbox environment that allows you to create your own custom rule sets, game modes, and even asymmetric experiences using not only the Battlefield 2042 maps, factions, specialists, weapons, and gadgets, but also select content from Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3. That's right, maps, factions, weaponry, vehicles, and gadgets from these previous titles are coming to the game in the form of two maps from each title, those being Battle of the Bulge and El Alamein from Battlefield 1942, Arica Harbor and Valparaiso from Bad Company 2, and Caspian Border and Noshaar Canals from Battlefield 3, and in addition to that, 40 plus weapons, 40 plus vehicles, and 30 plus gadgets spread across those titles. We'll also be seeing the return of factions from those titles and their old soldier archetypes such as Assault, Engineer, Support, and Recon, all of which is being completely visually remastered to look the part in the new Frostbite engine, with 1942 maps also being reworked to allow for destruction to have an impact as well. So yeah, you've got all this content, what can you do with it? I mean, where the hell do you start here? Let's kick off with the basics, right? Maps and factions. You can mix and match any map and faction you want to appear. Do you want to have, the Battlefield 3 US Marine Corps take on a 1942 British Army on Arica Harbor? You got it. Say you want to see the Russian Army from Bad Company 2 take on the Specialists from 2042 on El Alamein? Boom, done deal. But the customization doesn't stop there. No. You can also control the arsenal that those players have access to, and whether or not specialists are even a factor in the first place. You may decide to return to a classic class-based system with the older factions. You can also restrict certain weapons and vehicles out of the game entirely. Or hell, just mix and match gear from literally all eras of war into one stupid game of chaos. You got it. I'm sure someone's going to speedrun being the first person to take down a robot dog with the M1 Garand and watch that go viral on YouTube real quick. Now, of course, you can also control the raw scale of the game as to how many players are going to be in your custom lobbies, but you can also control the symmetry of the teams from an arsenal and size perspective, create some really interesting situations. An example of a mode that they talked about on stream was 10 players armed with assault rifles taking on 50 players with knives that were moving faster. So it's going to create some really dumb fun engagements. I mean, hell, they showed off another example of 20 EOD bots taking on one T-91 battle tank. Again, just raw, dumb fun. As I alluded to a second ago as well, you can even change things like mobility settings. Things like aiming down sights, nah, piss that right off. Don't like prone in your Battlefield games? That's fine, send it to the ether. With this, I feel as though we're going to see a lot of community content that aims to create experiences that aim to reflect that of older titles. An example is, say you wanted to create an experience closer to Bad Company 2, you could probably just ditch prone and vaulting altogether. If you wanted to really get down to 1942, you could sort of ditch health regeneration and sprinting and stuff like that. And of course, you can adjust things like visibility, HUD settings, health stats, the list goes on, which means that hardcore is going to be making a return to this entry of the series as well in the form of community-operated content. Now, this is all being accomplished via the introduction of the Logic Editor, which is essentially a visual scripting editor that allows you to change any rules, victory conditions, consequences or rewards for specific in-game events and or actions, which means that the Battlefield community is going to have the opportunity to create entirely unique game modes that were once impossible, even with previous server editors. So yeah, zombie game modes and VIP game modes are just a couple of the examples that they mentioned in that community live stream. The community is legitimately going to have every opportunity here to create game modes that have never been explored by the franchise in the first place. And just as icing on the cake, Battlefield 2042's progression is going to be synchronized with this mode. So yeah, you'll still be making gains in the XP grind even when you're seeing what tomfoolery the community has been able to cook up. Part of me wonders if there'll be any extension of progression to the old content making a return. Like, are we going to see attachment trees and vehicle customization on the old vehicles and weapons that are making a return? I admit it will take a crap ton of dev time to incorporate that much progression into the game, but it'd be nice to see at least some customization come to the remastered content as well, but we'll soon see if that plays out. But in essence, guys, what we have here is a Halo Forge mode for the Battlefield franchise. That is the short and sweet of it. And the more and more I think about this, the more and more I only find myself thinking just how good of a thing this is for the longevity of the title. It well and truly is a stroke of genius. Battlefield as a franchise has always relied on its more sandbox approach in the moment-to-moment gameplay to keep players coming back. The array of customization, vehicles, the element of teamwork, they're all part of the reason that we keep coming back to the game, because every game just plays that little bit differently to the last one because of how the chaos evolves over time. But by giving players now the ability to control how the sandbox can potentially play out in the first place, is a big step for the franchise. The degree of customizability here that is available on a core gameplay perspective and level is going to breed a myriad of experiences that only really seem to be limited by the creativity of the community to a certain extent. The Battlefield formula is one that is unique to the franchise, but what DICE has understood here is that they can make the franchise a lot more approachable to more players if they let the community decide what that formula should be for them. The Battlefield experience is no longer limited to quote-unquote all-out warfare. That mantra has been the cornerstone of the franchise for the longest of times, yes, but now it's no longer limited to that. Hell, as a content creator, the Portal ecosystem excites the fuck out of me because I can only imagine the kinds of community-centric game modes that we can organize here and the kind of community events that we can organize as a result of that. As soon as you give members of the community the means to tailor gameplay experiences on top of what the core gameplay already offers, then the lifespan of your game is entirely dictated by the creativity of your community. And being quite honest, the gaming community are a creative bunch. Take a look at the Halo franchise. Some of those games have had their longevity extended tensfold by the introduction of the Forge mode and the unique gameplay that has come from that. Battlefield has understood this, and this is an incredible innovation for the franchise that I can't wait to see what the community decides to do with it. Whether that be some servers dedicated to the experiences of old on 1942 maps and factions with, gameplay tweaks to make it like the older titles, or whether it be with a total tech mismatch of a, FA-18 Hornet taking on a flying fortress. Like, this is the kind of stuff I'm just really looking forward to seeing happen in the game. And it's one of the smartest moves I think DICE have made with the franchise in a very, very long time. It could very well be an industry standard setting moment here. There's no denying, guys, I'm very excited for Battlefield 2042, and you're certainly going to be seeing more content regarding it on the channel as time goes on. So if you're keen on that, hit the subscribe button. It goes a long way to support the channel. Also, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If not, well, that dislike button works there as well. No harm, no foul. And leave a comment down below, guys. What do you think of Battlefield Portal? Are you looking forward to trying it out? Could you not care less? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. As always, guys, Twitch link, Twitter link, and Discord link, all in the description down below as well. Hope to see you on those platforms as well. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Take care. Have a good one.